file is done in SolidWorks, and after hours of pocket holes and biscuit cutting and gluing, we ended up with a lot of sanding. Cutting rails for the sides. We basically glued and screwed those as well to the frames after we did some previous assembly. Here I'm showing you the putting in some T-nuts, because each of these cleats are glued and screwed to the side frames, which allows us to, you'll see later in the video, to be attached to the center frames, which will allow us to install the drawers either right or left, depending on whether or not we assemble them right or left, basically whichever side we want the drawers to come out on. So we're applying the stain and basically a amber shellac to the outside frames after they've been assembled, and it gives it a nice glow. So here we're assembling the footboards and headboards and waiting for the glue to dry. So I know how much you guys love to watch CNCs run, but I decided that we'd show you a little bit of Mach 3 and a software program from Scorchworks.com, which is a free v-carve program. It has no restriction on size, and my granddaughter likes butterflies, so we engraved both the footboard and the sideboards of the headboard that you'll see a little bit later in the video with v-carving. So here we're applying the amber shellac to a provincial stain that we've already applied to the pine headboards and footboards, and you can really see that it brings out the depth of the v-carving, and it really makes it pop. one of the things you might notice is that the only assembly table that I have is my CNC, and because it's 10 feet long and 5 feet wide, it makes a great assembly table, as it being the only table that I have in my workshop. Here we've cut drawers, fronts, as well as faux fronts for the opposite side. These can be installed on the left or the right, depending on how you install the center midboards that you'll see later in the assembly. We can set this up so that the drawers are on the left or on the right, depending on how we assemble the boards. This is my jig for cutting, I won't say dovetails, but at least fingertails on the drawers. And this might be a future video all by itself. But what we're doing here is we're doing finger joints and we're assembling the drawers. This is an interesting concept. I bought 3/4 inch aluminum strips that are exactly the same width as my saw blade, and I wanted to create rails that will allow me to create sliding drawers into the headboard. And so here's an illustration of how I installed those. In the regular boards, which you'll see in a second, I installed a set of these in the top and the bottom, which capture the sliding drawers on the front of the headboard. the design of this full-size bed was designed so that both the side rails, head rails, and the mid boards would all come apart so that you could carry it upstairs into a two-story apartment if you wanted to. This is my youngest daughter assembling the mid boards to the side rails so that with 1/4-20 screws. So the top boards are supported by 2x4s, which supports the decking plates that support the mattress. This would be my granddaughter trying out the bed for the first time, and I think she really likes it. We haven't installed the headboard or the drawers yet because we want to rearrange her room. So now we're showing the drawers installed and the headboard installed and her inner room rearranged, ready for her to store all her stuff